Okay. Are you ready? Watch this. LeBron James! How are you doing, sir? Are you ready to talk about Game 6 and the series of Lakers versus the Golden State? LeBron James! Okay, let's do it. Welcome back to the Melting Pot, guys. Today is May 13 and we have just recently watched the Lakers versus the Warriors on Game 6. The Lakers won. So, are you ready, Brian, to talk about the Lakers game versus the Warriors?
Warriors to ball!
Yeah, I
Warriors
guess I have
indeed.
to. I guess I gotta
Absolutely.
worry about that, Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, let's get on with it. What's the...
Okay. Let's do it. Okay. First of all, can you tell us about what you think about the Game 6?
I think LeBron James just took over, as primarily in the second half.
Indeed.
The first few games that leading up to this, he didn't play to the best of his abilities. Usually, like when the Lakers wins because of Anthony Davis, but then he took over in the second half. Total points of like 30 points, and then like everyone helped. The two A's, AD and AR, Austin Reeves. Anthony Davis has 17 points and 20 rebounds, while Austin Reeves, the guy who is like undrafted, with 24 points, I believe. And basically, it's just the tale of the superstars' help. Basically, LeBron James with AD and AR. Steph Curry pretty much scored 32 points, but he's the only one with double digits besides one more player. His name is Dante DiVincenzo. You expect like the second star of the Warriors to be Klay Thompson. You know, Klay Thompson usually Game 6 is like playing well, but he scored less than 10 points. He's been atrocious this series. Not season overall, but like this series. Yeah, but overall this series he hasn't been playing to his usual abilities. And like basically they have no help. Steph Curry has no help besides from everybody basically.
Yeah.
Draymond Green scored only 9 points. Andrew Wiggins only scored 6 points. He played amazing in the previous game. And Jordan Poole, something has to be done about Jordan Poole. Once he got his money back, it's like he's been missing from action basically.
That's true. So you mentioned Steph Curry, right? And all his other teammates only had like let's see, Klay Thompson 8 points, Andrew Wiggins 6 points, Gary Payton 4 points. So do you think when you watched the game, did you think that Stephen Curry was ball hogging too much and he could have like maybe relied more on his teammates, because like that could potentially win the game for the Game 6 and to maybe go to Game 7?
I don't know, if you look at the field goal percentage for everyone else, everyone has been shooting bricks pretty much. Klay Thompson even scored 3 out of 90, and Steph Curry was the only one who's like playing pretty well. Like he's been like, not only is he shooting the ball effectively, but he's been like driving, playmaking, trying to playmake as much as possible. You know, he already had like he only had 5 assists at Montreal. People haven't been making shots pretty much. And again, like I said, Jordan Poole, he needs to play better. It's going to be a long off season for the Poole man, because like, I mean, like once he got the money from in the previous off season, he's been playing atrocious this entire playoffs. You know, I don't know if it's because of the LA baddies in the court side. You know, Kendall Jenner, Lizzo was there, all that stuff. So like, you know, usually Jordan Poole plays better when the baddies are there, but like not the LA baddies, maybe only the SF San Francisco baddies, which is like just the techpreneurs and all that.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so moving on, like, what do you think about the Lakers actually advancing on Game 6, winning the 4-2 series against the Warriors? Especially like, as you know, the Lakers first half of the season, they were atrocious. Anthony Davis, he was injured pretty much kind of the whole season too, so that's pretty much like why the Lakers are plummeting first half of the season. Like, what do you think about like their redemption season in this playoff this year?
Yeah, I think first of all we gotta give credit to the general manager Rob Pelinka,
Rob
who looks
Pelinka, I love you, man.
who looks like Rob Lowe, and he basically saved LeBron's legacy this season. He was about to miss the playoffs again for the second straight season. 3 seasons in the Lakers, he could have missed the playoffs, but then because he let go of players like Patrick Beverly, Russell Westbrook, and gotten superstar players like D'Angelo Russell, deloading, Rui Hachimura. It's like they let go of like bad system players and got like good players to help assist like the LeBron, AD. Dennis Schroeder has been doing his thing as well. We got to give a shout out to Lonnie Walker as well because he played effectively well in Game 4. And basically, like, they just click at the right time. You know, like, this is reminiscent of like the 2018 season for LeBron when the mid-trade deadline have been helping him. They let go of some bad players, got some good players, and they've been clicking. They got like players that can complement LeBron. They've been basically getting red hot because like they have to play every game leading up to the playoffs have been like a playoff game for them in the regular season because like they were like about to miss the playoffs. They even made it as a 8th seed technically, but then they got to the 7th seed, right? So they've been just like clicking and like they have this playoff mentality for months already prior to the playoffs, Gito.
That's true. I can't wait for the next game. For Lakers, we're gonna win the 2023 season. Mark my words. Mark my words.
It's gonna be a good series against the Nuggets. It's like Jokic has been like.
That's true.
Like if you look at the past game, like Anthony Davis has been his kryptonite basically this season. Like Jokic, like a 2-time MVP, and you know going at AD, and like this is gonna be like a rematch of the bubble season, the Western Conference Finals. Shout out to Matt H for reminding me about that. So like thanks for that. Yeah, but like the bubble, you know, Lakers won against the Nuggets, so should be a good series in the next one, and we'll see from there.
That's true. Okay, moving on. Like aside from the game, but like more to a player. So, what do you think of Austin Reeves? Like he just showcased he is a display of being a full caliber weapon in the NBA. Especially like he went undrafted, but then actually back in 2021, the Detroit Pistons like they want him, but like he kind of rejected it. And like he just waited for a 2-way contract with the Lakers because he knew that he wanted to be a Lakers. Like, so basically, especially in this game, in like game 6, he has 23 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. So, what do you think about Austin Reeves? Do you think he is like overrated and an overhyped player, or is he just that good and exceed so way out of expectations?
Of course, he exceeded expectations because he is an undrafted player cut, and he had to work with his way from the bottom, basically. And he was lucky enough to be in the same team as LeBron and Anthony Davis, you know, players who already won the championship, and just like kept feeding him the ball. And he had to play well as well, like with all the trading and stuff like that, gitu kan. And obviously, because of his undraftedness, like people aren't prepared for him basically, and like you gotta give him credit for like shooting the ball effectively well, and like playing with so much swagger. Like you saw that in the half court, in the halftime buzzer beater, he had to like that was just a lot of confidence in himself, and like LeBron also give credit to his leadership for giving him the confidence for an undrafted player.
So you think that he is that good, huh?
I mean, he's good, tapi kaya he knows his role. Like he is a role player for the team. His role is to shoot the basket when given.
Austin Reeves, I also love you. Robert Pelinka, I love you. LeBron James, I love you. Anthony Davis, maybe. Okay, so moving on to the Heats. To the Heat, like you hear me. Okay, moving on to the game of Heat versus the Knicks in the playoffs. We have just witnessed it today as well. And so what do you think? The New York Knicks, 92 points. Miami Heat, 96 points. Miami has won the series in a 4-2 spectacle. So, tell us what you think about Game 6.
I think it went down to the wire, innit? Okay, I went down to the wire. Jalen Brunson lost the ball. I think in the end it was just the Heat culture. And people keep raving about Heat culture, Heat culture. But like the thing about Heat culture is Eric Spoelstra and the entire Miami Heat coaching staff, they already trained the players. They coached them hard during the regular season. Jadi kayak when it comes to the playoff, the intensity is still at the same pace gitu. You know how sometimes like when you go to the playoffs, you are expected everything is to be like double the toughness and all that. Tapi kayak jadinya kayak mereka tuh udah kayak siap dari regular season. They already coach hard, they already train hard, so they already made for the moment. That's why kayak they beat the Bucks in the previous season, even though there's no Giannis for 2 games. But they still beat the Bucks regardless. The first seed versus the 8th seed. People expect them to be like dead in the waters a few weeks ago. They lost to the Atlanta Hawks in the play-in tournament, but they barely made it out alive as an 8th seed now. Beat the Bucks in 5 games, and then now they beat the Knicks in 6 games. It was all because of Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler has been the best playoff performer this season so far. But it's not just because of him. Like the other players step up. You got the greatest Toronto Raptor of all time, Kyle Lowry, giving the veteran presence, point guard, giving out dimes, and especially like every good team needs to have that second superstar, and Miami Heat has that with Bam Adebayo. He played sensational in today's game. He was aggressive. He posted up in the paint. He played in the paint. He just bullied the Julius Randle, all the centers in the Knicks, and Miami Heat. They got shooters as well: Gabe Vincent, Mark Strauss, Duncan Robinson. No Tyler Hero, doesn't matter. They got heroes everywhere. So overall, the Knicks just played horrible as well. I believe Julius Randle just horrible. Like 3 out of 14 field goal, only 15 points. Like turnovers. RJ Barrett also horrible. 11 points, but 1 out of 10 field goal. A lot of it has been the free throws. But Jalen Brunson has been great overall. Great acquisition during the offseason from Dallas Mavericks. 41 points today. Has been like the saving grace of the Knicks. MVP for the Knicks. But everyone just played horrible in the Knicks. So it's just tough to beat the championship aspirations of the Miami Heat, who was just in the finals 3 years ago. Last year they were in the Eastern Conference Finals, lost to Game 7 against the Boston Celtics.
Okay, so I just want to ask, from your own personal opinion, like you've stated, right, they're the 8th seed, Miami Heat was the 8th seed, and as you know, they beat the Bucks in a 4-1 game series. Especially the Bucks is the first seed in the Eastern Conference. So what do you think about Miami Heat's expectation of winning the finals? Do you think they're gonna make it to the finals? What do you think?
I think they are gonna go all the way to the finals. Now that my Warriors are gone, I still got my Miami Heat, who I've been a fan of since 2010, by the way.
No, bandwagon. He is a bandwagon. He is a LeBron dick rider.
I think the Miami Heat have a chance. We're still waiting for the 76ers and the Celtics to win, right? Whoever wins. Tapi kaya intinya kaya I think if it's the Celtics, I want the Boston Celtics because I want revenge for last year's. But I don't think an 8th seed has been to the NBA Finals since 1999. That was the New York Knicks, by the way, post Jordan era, and because we have a chance to make history, basically, becoming the first 8th seed to make it to the finals and winning it basically this time. And we beat the Bucks. We beat like the favorites to win it all. We beat the New York Knicks, the surging Knicks, who's gonna be a threat for years to come. And now we just gotta beat the defending Eastern Conference champion of last year, or the surging Joel Embiid, James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Doc Rivers, and the 76ers. So overall, I believe in the Heat culture.
You believe in the Heat culture?
Yes.
You believe in Miami, your favorite city.
Yeah, my favorite city. My city.
Reggaeton indeed, my friend. Yeah. Okay, so now, moving on from the Heat versus the Knicks playoff, now we're gonna talk about Suns versus the Nuggets. It happened yesterday, and Denver won the series against Phoenix in a 4-2 series as well. Same like the other two games that we just mentioned. Okay, so tell us, what do you think about the whole series of the game? About Denver versus Phoenix. A blowout game for the Nuggets in Game 6 with 125 points over the Suns' 100 points. Can you tell us more about that?
I think it was just too much for the Suns because they already sold the farm to get Kevin Durant during the mid-series acquisition.
Yeah.
They let go of like Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson's bench players, not bench players, role players that was vital to the Suns' tight NBA Finals run a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So since they got Kevin Durant, like it was all like this series has just been all Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Like they basically told Kevin Durant and Devin Booker ever since Chris Paul got injured in Game 1 to just save us, which they did for a bit in Game 3 and 4. They won those games because they had to go superstar. They had to go ballistic. You know, they had like 30, 40 points each Gitula for those games, and then like once they are out of ammos, the Nuggets are just too much. They're just too deep with their bench players. They have better shooting. They got two-time MVP Nikola Jokic. They got shout out to Orlando Magic's the former Orlando Magic Aaron Gordon, who is just a sensational power forward, one of the best dunkers of all time. And they got Michael Porter Jr., who has one of the greatest, who is just a pure shooter as a small forward.
Yeah.
They just have more depth, more bench. To go against Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, who, by the way, DeAndre Ayton didn't even play in Game 6, so they were just like going to be outmanned by Nikola Jokic, of course, who's the MVP.
Okay, thank you for that perspective. That was a lot, but okay, but like, what do you think about KD's legacy, like overall, after Denver winning this series? Like, do you think KD's legacy have taken a fall after leaving Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, his former teammates, the Warriors? Like, take account, he was like expecting a super team in the Suns and expecting a ring on his finger, okay? Another ring on his finger this season, but Chris Paul got injured, DeAndre Ayton got injured. So, what's next for him? What do you think about his legacy moving forward?
Yeah, as much as a big Kevin Durant fan, you know, shout out to Seattle. He got drafted by Seattle in 2007 as a second pick. Shout out to Seattle. It took a dive, you know, ever since he left after the Toronto Raptors won the championship against our Golden State Warriors in 2019. He decided to become his own man, right? He decided to go to Brooklyn because he felt that in order for him to be legitimized by the fan base and all the naysayers and all that, he has to win a ring on his own outside of Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, That's when he went to Brooklyn, got with Kyrie Irving. They even got like tried to get James Harden, like that didn't work out. And then like last year they lost to the Celtics in a 4-game sweep. This year was supposed to be revenge time for KD and Kyrie. They played well, but then they got traded during the halfway through because Kyrie decided to request a trade, so it ruined all momentum for them. But I think KD should have stayed with the Nets if he wanted to preserve his legacy, because like I think he got pressured last year when Stephen Curry won the championship without KD. So then now it can be like Stephen Curry already won 2 rings without KD, and KD couldn't win 1 ring without Stephen Curry. So like I think the pressure's on him now next year, because this year is kind of a wash because like he got traded in the halfway through, so you can't expect him to get gel through with like his new teammates and all that. But then we'll see what the Suns got cooking up during the off season with the trades and all that in the free agency, because they need help and they have no bench, as shown as this series went on.
So you actually think that he shouldn't have left the Golden State Warriors to go to the Nets and left the Nets to go to the Suns?
I think he should have stayed with the Nets. He went to the right decision the first time going to the Nets, but I think he shouldn't have left the Nets, because if he wanted, he could have like tried to win a ring at the Nets with like let them get get assets and all that to help him around.
Just imagine the Brooklyn Nets winning the championship this year with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. That would have been a spectacle,
Yeah.
couldn't it, huh? How lit would Brooklyn be? Especially like we just watched the highlights of people walking around in New York talking about the New York game and the New York Knicks versus Miami Heat. Like all the people were like so hyped about New York and stuff like that. What about Brooklyn? It would have been even more crazier. Dumbo.
Shout out to Lucali's, Jay-Z's favorite pizza spot. Tapi kaya,
my goodness.
yeah, it would have been great because it's Manhattan. It's Empire State Building. It's the Vessel. It's Joe's Pizza. It's Cat's Deli. It's Ross and Daughters. It's what's that bakery yang gusto ka ito yang what's the bakery? Yang bakery apa? Love yang gue beli lu
Bakery?
yang bak apa tuh?
Bread Factory?
Bread Factory, yeah.
I think it might be Bread Factory. Don't quote on
The chocolate one.
the baklava.
Yeah, the baklava.
Oh no, not the baklava. The babka.
The babka. Yeah, shout out New York. Shout
out New York. Yes.
Yeah, I think that.
That's basically all for our playoffs game recap and basically signing out. Melting Podcast. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and follow us on Instagram, our Melting Pot official Instagram, our TikTok as well. And this is me, Bradley.
Brian.
Goodbye.